Yeah, we back. We back. Now today, man, we're gonna be talking about Clay Higgins, Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins. You know, we gotta speak to you, big man. And not wasting no time. Let's jump straight into the footage, and I'm going to come back on my commentary. Let's go.
But first, we start with Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins' controversial remarks about the Haitian community that's led to a firestorm of backlash from House Democrats. In a since-deleted social media post, Higgins called Haitian migrants thugs and told them to get out of the country before January 20th.
Louisiana Congressman Clay Higgins is finding himself in some hot water following a now-deleted social media post about Haitian migrants. In the post, Higgins stated, quote, "These Haitians are wild, eating pets, voodoo, nastiest country in the Western Hemisphere, cults, and slapstick gangsters." The tweet was in response to an Associated Press article about the Haitian Bridge Alliance filing charges against former President Donald Trump and vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance.
Louisiana Republican Congressman Clay Higgins has been attacking Haitians with a social media post that's been deleted now on X.
Higgins was responding to an Associated Press article that a nonprofit Haitian organization in Springfield, Ohio, filed criminal charges against former President Trump and Senator J.D. Vance.
Yeah, and this comes after Trump and Vance spread baseless claims about Haitian residents in Springfield eating people's pets. Local officials have made it clear that there is no evidence supporting that. Congressman Steve Horsford of Nevada moved to censure Higgins on the House floor last night.
Now, let's jump straight into these articles. Take a look up on the screen. Higgins has since deleted the post, reportedly after he was confronted about it on the House floor by Congressman Stephen Horsford. Now, shout out to the big dog, you know what I mean? Shout out to Congressman Stephen Horsford. You see, Congressman Clay Higgins was very confident in the privacy of his own home when he was on social media. But when they ran down on him in person and demanded clarification, he didn't want no smoke, right? He didn't want to stand on what he said. He was like, I didn't even mean it like that, man. You got it all wrong, man. It's a misunderstanding. Yeah, all right, hillbilly. Yeah, you don't want no smoke when a black man demand clarification. Now, let's continue. Higgins is no stranger to perpetuating anti-black racism. Back in 1992, Higgins, who was an Army military police officer, described the former Ku Klux Klan Grand Wizard David Duke as his homeboy during Duke's unsuccessful bid for the presidency. Now, these are the caliber of men having the audacity to wave their finger and cast judgment upon anybody. As if you have the moral high ground to even voice your opinion. As if you have the credibility to even open your mouth. Shit is crazy, man. But anyway, let's continue. Take a look up on the screen. Congressman Clay Higgins' extremely racist tweet is only the tip of the iceberg. His record includes allegedly putting a gun to the head of his ex-wife, voting for a neo-Nazi, and assaulting an unarmed black man while working as a cop. Ha! Now, like I said, these are the caliber of men that have the audacity to cast judgment upon us. Man, you got some nerve, man. You got some nerve. That goes to show. Once a hillbilly, always a hillbilly. It don't matter how many three-piece suits you got on. It don't matter how well you dress. No matter how well you present. At your core, you always gonna be some white trash. And like I said, if you've been following my videos, this is who this message is tailored for. The white trash of America, the hillbillies of America. That is who this message resonates with, man. The drunk meth head living in poverty. The broke hillbilly chewing tobacco. The toothless backwoods bum smoking rolled up cigarettes. The unemployed redneck living in a rundown trailer. And the low-life congressman putting a gun to the head of his wife. This is Donald Trump's base that he believes is going to take him to the promised land. That's going to win him the election in November. But anyways, let's get back to Clay Higgins, man. You know, this guy right here, he wants to call the Haitians, y'all some thugs, y'all some gangsters. But bro, your own wife had to put a restraining order against you, bro. Your own wife, right? You don't even got respect for your own wife. And before you became a congressman, you were a cop with a nasty reputation for corruption. So even when you were allegedly serving the community, you were engaged in a criminal activity. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you were forced to resign. So the same man who cannot even uphold the law with integrity want to sit here and judge an entire nation of people. You were corrupt as a cop. Your own ex-wife will vouch that you were a piece of shit during the marriage. And let's talk about the state you represent. Let's talk about your constituents. Let's talk about the citizens you represent, the white folks in Louisiana. Your state ranks near the bottom of every single metric that matters. The white folks in Louisiana have some of the lowest education rates in the entire United States, which, let's be honest, that is commonplace for Trump supporters. These white hillbilly Trump supporters, these redneck, backwoods motherfuckers. Everybody knows the majority of y'all are dumb as a box of rocks, man. Probably got a 10th grade education. Most of y'all barely graduated high school and can't even afford college. And you want to talk about who's a thug, who's this and that. Man, listen, can you even spell the word constituent? Can you even spell the word bipartisan? Can you even spell the word legislation? Can you even spell the word incumbent? Like, come on, man. I'm not about to go back and forth with a Southern Louisiana hillbilly who believes that because he got a 3-piece suit on that he's somehow intelligent. You still a monkey in a suit, man. It don't matter how well you dress it up. You still a monkey in a goddamn suit. But anyways, back to Clay Higgins and the Trump supporters down in the state of Louisiana, man. Now, Louisiana, probably one of the most impoverished states in the country, right? Your people, your white constituents are struggling to make ends meet. And instead of helping them get out of poverty, you out here, you want to throw shots at the Haitians, man. How pathetic are you, bro? You represent one of the poorest states in the United States with some of the most impoverished white communities, but somehow you worried about the Haitians all the way in Springfield, Ohio. Not even in your own state. Not even in your own state. You believe that because you got a tailored suit on and you have a slightly better presentation than the rest of your hillbilly constituents, that you somehow have the ability and the liberty to wag your finger at the Haitians as if your state is the model of success. When the reality is, the state you represent is a failure by every modern standard. And instead of occupying your time trying to fix that crumbling infrastructure, to fix those failing schools, and to fix that healthcare system, that's the reason why a bunch of white folks down there all fucked up got health problems. You want to waste your time talking about the Haitians. And to me, this entire interaction is beneath me, right? Because you yourself, you are in no position to lecture anybody on morality, on decency, or having a decent character. Somebody who's been accused of abusing his own wife, pulling a gun on his own wife. You a corrupt cop. And the white folks you represent, many of them are drowning in poverty. So instead of taking shots at the Haitians, man, focus your time on uplifting the white folks in your state, right? Who are living in squalor, okay? It's time to stop pointing fingers and take accountability for your own shit, bro. Because like I said, you don't have the moral authority to open your mouth. Because you want to know who the real thugs are? The real thugs are men like yourself who abuse power and failed their own people. The real so-called gangsters are the ones who left their state at the bottom of the barrel while sitting in Congress spewing hate. And it's funny because Louisiana back in the day, that was the jewel of the South, man. Louisiana back in the day, Louisiana was rich. Louisiana was prosperous, right? Back in the days of the sugar plantation and the cotton plantation, right? The economy was booming, right? From the blood, sweat, and tears of the blacks, right? Yeah, it wasn't your hard work of your ancestors. Hell nah. The wealth and prosperity of Louisiana came from human trafficking, right? The economy of Louisiana was built by gangsters and thugs. The only reason Louisiana ever had a hint of prosperity was because of slave labor, and that was it. The massive profits made from human trafficking and slave labor. Let's not sugarcoat it, man. The only reason Louisiana had a golden days was because it was built off the backs of the blacks. And as soon as the blacks were no longer locked in the chains of bondage, your economy sank like the Titanic. Your economy went down the fucking tubes like the Titanic. Once the plantation economy collapsed, your state never recovered. Still to this day, y'all still broken, fucked up. Y'all still down bad. Ha! Almost 200 years later, and you still haven't recovered from the Civil War. But anyways, let's continue. Let's learn some more about Clay Higgins, right? Take a look up on the screen. Higgins' missteps have allegedly not been limited to rhetoric. The first of his 3 ex-wives wrote that while seeking a protective order against him back in 1991, that Higgins put a gun to my head during an argument. She explained that he threatened that if I ever came near the house, he would shoot me. Ha, man, listen, bro, you a goddamn, man, lock this clown up and throw away the key, man. Fucking goofy. Let's continue. Back in 2007, Higgins resigned from the police department in Louisiana after reportedly assaulting an unarmed black man and then lying about it. The victim stated that Higgins and another officer attacked him after he did not consent to a search of his car, according to an internal investigation. The victim stated that while on the ground, Officer Higgins grabbed him by the hair and twisted his head and told him to go get his lawyer and called him a pussy. He stated that he was then kicked while he was still on the ground and could not see who kicked him. The report also says that Higgins grabbed the victim by the neck and slammed him against his car and struck him in the jaw. Higgins went on to lie about the incident, falsely claiming that he was the one who was assaulted. Later, the now congressman called back the police investigator to admit that he was not telling the truth. He claimed his decision for the new honesty stemmed from confessing his sins to a counselor from Las Vegas. The report concluded something else. Higgins had learned that a third officer who was on the scene during the incident had failed to cover for him. Like I said, man, I've heard some terrible things about the Louisiana Police Department, man. The police in the state of Louisiana, man, like I said, it seems like Clay Higgins upholding that reputation, man. You know, typical redneck, hillbilly, down south, Klansman in a police uniform. Let's continue. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media, right? This person said, Clay Higgins sounds like the most racist name ever. It sounds like some Ku Klux Klan sheriff from Mississippi in the 60s. Yo, facts, man. Clay Higgins, man. God damn, man. Man. Anyway, let's continue. This person said, Clay Higgins voted for David Duke, a Ku Klux Klan Grand Master. Yeah, exactly. That should already let you know what type of individual this guy is, right? Like I said, his opinion has zero credibility. Let's continue, man. This person said, Congressman Clay Higgins, you are a disgrace to your country, your constituents, and your family. This person said, Clay Higgins is a virulent and violent racist who has no business serving in Congress. He is like a figure from the Confederate Congress. A serious Republican Party would move to expel him tomorrow. Unfortunately, we no longer have a serious Republican Party. Damn. Let's continue. This person said, it drives me crazy that Clay Higgins, embarrassingly, my representative from South Louisiana, cannot spell voodoo, something that has been a part of Louisiana folklore for decades. Now, that's something else that I want to touch on, right? Clay Higgins, he tried to demonize the Haitians and tried to generalize the Haitian community by talking about voodoo. But my thing is this, whenever somebody brings up voodoo, right? First things first, over 95% of Haitians are devout Christians, some form of Catholic or Protestant, something along those lines. The vast majority of the population is stomped down Christians, right? And also, I never understood why Haitians get singled out, because you could go to Nigeria, you could go to Benin, Togo, you go to Jamaica, you could go to the Spanish-speaking spots with the Santeria, right? Puerto Rico and Brazil and Dominican Republic and all this other shit, right? Even in Louisiana, right? Even in Louisiana, like the person said, they got their own variation of African spiritual practices as well. Now, I guess you could say that Haitians kind of put it on the map. So, yeah, you could say our founding fathers kind of put it on the map and kind of made us the face of it, but we are not the inventors of it. We are not the only ones who practice it. So I don't understand why you guys attach it to us, especially when the vast majority of us, over 90%, are stomped down Christians any goddamn way. But it is what it is, man. I understand the propaganda is very powerful. But anyway, let's continue. This brother said, shout out to the brother Cam G Verse. He said, the Christian faith of most Haitians never mattered. They are black, and that's why they will always be hated by white Christian nationalists. Exactly. Now, like I said before, propaganda is very powerful, and all the stereotypes and the nonsense that Clay Higgins was talking about is simply regurgitating propaganda that he's been inundated with probably his entire life, to be honest with you. But I want to talk about how propaganda can be weaponized against any demographic. Of course, when it comes to black folks, we got it the worst, right? We done had it the worst. But when you control the media, you control the propaganda. So if I was in control of the mainstream media, I could do the exact same thing to white folks. I could do the same exact thing to these white hillbilly redneck Trump supporters if I had the control of the media. I could broadcast nothing but the most egregious crimes, the worst scandals, and the most disgraceful moments and pass it off as the norm for white folks. But like I've said in many videos before, when it comes to the white community in America, the Western media, the mainstream media is always going to portray their best and their brightest as the representative. They're going to show you the Bill Gates. They're going to show you the Steve Jobs. They're going to show you the Jeff Bezos. They're going to show you the Mark Cubans of the world, right? They're not going to show you the junkie from the Midwest, right? They're not going to show you the hillbilly from Louisiana, right? They're going to show you, the penthouses of New York, the elites of Beverly Hills, they're going to show you the wealth and power of white America, right? They're not going to show you, the junkie living in a trailer park. But when it comes to us, right? When it comes to black folks across the world, we don't get that same luxury, right? Our representation in the media is limited to the worst of the worst, right? Images of poverty, criminality, despair. They cherry pick the worst of the worst and they try to pass that off as the average or the norm. That's what you call propaganda. But like I said before, if I had the control of the mainstream media, we could do the same exact thing to white folks, right? We could do the same exact thing. We could just go down the worst of the worst, most craziest stories and be like, man, look at these white folks. These white folks going crazy. You know what I mean? Like, for example, take a look up on the screen. A white couple tries to sell a 6-month-old baby for beer and money. A white man is accused of killing his father, his stepmother, and his stepbrother. A white couple is accused of locking their children up in the apartment filled with filth and feces. The trial starts for a Mississippi teenager accused of killing her mother and shooting her stepfather. A white man kills his teenage girlfriend with a sword and then curls up next to her body. A white man is accused of murdering a missing girlfriend and burying her under the fire pit. A white high school teacher is arrested for allegedly telling the students how to staple a cat. Now listen, y'all talking about the cats and the dogs, but meanwhile, look what the white folks doing, right? Look at y'all trying to kill the cats, trying to staple the cats and stab the cats and brutalize it and massacre the cats. Man, look what these savages doing, man. Let's continue. White man is locked up for life after breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house and slitting her throat. White parents are arrested for allegedly refusing to treat their diabetic daughter until she died. A white woman is sentenced to prison for killing a man she met online and dumping his body in the oil fields. Jesus Christ, look what the snow bunny's doing. A white woman is accused of locking her 10-year-old daughter in a dog cage for days. A white man is accused of assaulting and assassinating a 3-year-old girl while babysitting. Bro, listen, like I said, man, we could cherry pick the worst of y'all and put it on the front page news and pass it off as the average and the norm for y'all too if we wanted to. You know, like I said, the same way y'all do to us, we could do the same thing to y'all, man. Look at y'all, man. These the same folks. These the hillbillies voted for Donald Trump. These the clown ass white folks voted for Donald Trump. Ha. Man, listen. Congressman Clay Higgins, like I said, you are the last one to talk. You are the last one to wag your finger at anybody. Your ex-wife said you are an emotional, abusive piece of shit. You get emotional like a little bitch and pull out a gun on your wife. You a clown. You a buster. You had to resign as a cop because you were engaged in corruption. And like I said, the white folks that live in your state, the white folks you represent in Louisiana, some of the most undereducated, some of the most impoverished hillbillies in the entire country. You talk about white trash. Listen, y'all the juice on the bottom of the garbage bag down there, bro. And trust me, I understand why, the white folks in Louisiana would have, some animosity towards the Haitians. Because a lot of your ancestors during the Haitian Revolution, you fled the island in terror and panic. Yeah, you fled the island. You fled. Yeah, you fled. You put on your track shoes on and you fled. You had to run and seek refuge in Louisiana, in South Carolina, in Georgia, in Virginia, in Florida, in Mississippi, Alabama. The black man had you running in terror. Yeah, you remember. You had to pack your bags and hop on a boat and get the fuck out the island. Those same white colonists that were running for their life during the Haitian Revolution, they ran to the southern United States and became the Confederates. That's a fact. Y'all ran to the southern United States and became the KKK. That's a fact. And when we examine the history, it seems like y'all have nothing but a history of losing, right? During the Haitian Revolution, you got smashed on. During the Civil War, you got smashed on. You had to run to Louisiana with your tail tucked between your legs. So I gotta ask you, Clay Higgins, how does it feel to represent a group of white folks who have a history of getting their ass kicked? From the sugarcane fields in Haiti to the battlefields of the Confederacy. Nigga, all y'all know is taking losses. Nigga, all y'all know is getting smashed on. Y'all know nothing about victory. You don't know shit about victory. A bunch of losers, a bunch of hillbilly rednecks never won a single thing in their fucking life, nigga. Soon as slavery ended, the economy went to shit. Anyways, man, this your boy Never Card us Saline back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the album, man. Support the album. Peace. Now, before we get out of here, I just want to acknowledge that this video was only targeted at the racist hillbillies of Louisiana, the rednecks and the white trash of Louisiana. This was not targeted towards the black family of Louisiana. Y'all my family. I got love for y'all, man. We just had to march on Clay Higgins real quick. I wasn't taking shots at the black family of Louisiana, man. Listen, Louisiana has given us some of the greatest black men and women and some of the greatest contributions that are undeniable, right? In fact, one of my favorite businessmen of all time, right? Birdman, the CEO of Cash Money Records, who gave us Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys and Juvenile and things like that, right? That came out of Louisiana, right? So listen, we got big love for Louisiana. Louis Armstrong, Ruby Bridges, much love to the black family from Louisiana, man. But when it comes to them hillbillies, listen, no mercy. You feel me? No mercy. Anyways, I'm gone. Peace.
No. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife, yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I'm eating no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Back in my city, they loving me. Standing alone, I'm 100 deep. Enemy plotting and still in reach. They try to make sure that we underneath. Trying to make sure that we never make it. Coming for power, come get acquainted. Coming for everything that I wanted. Feeling like Drake, but I really wrote it. Feeling like Kendrick, I'm checking names. Gotta roll up while I go insane. Got so much stress, I been gated away. Stuffing these racks in this Louis case. One thing for certain, I'm about to check. Keep it 100 and nothing less. Stick with the family since day one. Had to stay down till my day come. Had to stay down, but I'm never patient. Hop on the mic and I'm motivated. Hop on the mic and I drop a classic. Haters can't see me, they copping glasses. Back in the studio making magic. Got a new tape and it's in production. Back on my business, I got a budget. Staying low key when I'm out in public. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife, yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I'm eating no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Making the news. Making the news.